At first, Civitas was my reason to get into Rio Americano because I'm not from San Juan Unified School District, I'm from Sac City, and the school choices here are better than Sac City, we thought. So I didn't view it as, I wasn't excited to learn about politics. That was the last thing on my mind. It was more about, it looks good on college applications and I need to get into Rio. So that's how I got into Civitas. And that view on Civitas actually changed throughout. Now I appreciate it more than just the college app benefit. So on the first day of my interview, I was in my Catholic school uniform, and I just remember that in Catholic school, politics and religion don't, go together, so we didn't talk about that a lot. So I was kind of nervous because I wasn't used to the subject of politics and community service coming up. So I walked in and I wasn't sure what to expect, but once I started writing the essay, I realized I do have my own views. And then I walked into the room with the interview panel, and after walking out, I remember being really proud of myself because I didn't think I could handle the questions, but I actually did. And so, even though I didn't see myself as a strong person to take on politics and community service, I think it fit me. So going into freshman year, I heard a lot about Miss Reed, and it wasn't bad, but it was intimidating. I remember the first day going in, she had the whole board was just filled with like white markers and like all the notes, and she had all the books we had to do, the community service, the projects, and I just thought, I can't do this. Because it seemed, for my skill level back then, it just seemed too much for me to handle. But I remember everyone else in the room I looked at them and all their faces were the same. We were intimidated, we were scared, so I thought, well, at least we're all in this together. And so, shortly after my first day of Civitas, my negative mindset about it actually changed. I realized that Civitas meant more to me than a boost on college apps, and it became my support group and my source of confidence, and also my source of importance. I felt I had more importance in the world than I originally thought of myself. And it was my source of purpose and my source of family. And a lot of times in high school, even if you don't have a social group or you lost your social group, Civitas was the most stable thing we had because we were always a part of that, and that could be our identity. And so through Civitas, I think even if I was having a hard time in school or with friends, I could always go there and I was reassured. So I appreciate that for Civitas as well. And so out of a lot of classes we had to take, my favorite was speech and international relations. And as many students probably say, speech helped me come out of my shell and have more confidence. So even though I was scared to speak at first, I now am not afraid to speak. Like even now, I feel like I'm confident and can command a room. And international relations, for me, I love different cultures and different countries, so I thought international relations was really cool because it wasn't just about politics, but you also had to deal with the certain customs of those countries, and you had to figure out, because we had a mock in international relations, and so we had to figure out how should we deal with these countries. We don't know their customs. And I just thought that was really cool because it also opened my mind to other countries and their problems, and I think it made me appreciate the education I have here, the stability, the peace, no war. I've never experienced a war, so I think international relations, even though it was just a class, it really made me think of it really made me realize just not just based on education, but based in real life, how lucky I am. And along with the extra classes came the 100 hours of community service, and back to my Catholic school, we only had to complete 5 hours of community service in 8th grade, and back then that even seemed like a lot. And so Coming into Civitas thinking 100 hours in just 2 years, I have no clue how I'll be able to do that. I have no connections. Luckily, Miss Reed, she'd been doing it for a long time, she had the connection. She gave us so many opportunities, and I remember KVIE, that might have been my favorite one. We answered phone calls, and I realized then that I'm a people person. I really do like helping people, and I also like talking, and so I thought, I do, and so I thought that really fit me. And then also, I remember the Children's Museum now has a building off Zinfandel next to Costco, and I remember a few years ago they had to hold their like little children's parties for like educating them in private houses, and I went to a few of those and helped out. And now, even though I wasn't really a big part of the organization, I'm thinking I did have a little small like hand in helping them become from a small private home to a big building. And also just it supports the education of children, which we, well, all of us really do appreciate, and so do I. And so after 100 hours of community service, we do our internship. And I was really unsure. I had different ideas. I like animals, I like kids, and then I was also thinking like media. But then, so Miss Reed helped me out. She really like gave me my options, and she referred me to Sacramento Zoo and then also Leslie Fritz. And Sacramento Zoo, I was a camp counselor for kids from like 4 years old to probably 14. And so during the summer, I went for 4 weeks, every day for 5 hours. And at first, I really didn't think I was good with kids, but that actually changed. And I appreciate the zoo because I went there as a little kid, and I love animals, and I think it's a positive institution in Sacramento because it not only teaches kids about animals, but teaches kids about how to protect the environment for themselves and also for the animals. And it's not only for kids, but it's for adults. I think the parents really appreciated what the Sacramento Zoo did for them. And so, even though I thought that having my internships would help me decide what would be my path in life, it actually confused me more because once I went to CPRS, I realized, okay, I also like maybe working behind computers, which I didn't think I would. Like at a desk area, I thought I was like hands-on outside everything, but and then Leslie also, because they have like the communications and like the manager and everything there, and she made me go around to each person and ask them what their job was, and each job interested me, and so that confused me even more. And I remember Leslie saying, she's like, I'm going to confuse you even more than you want to be confused, and I didn't expect that going in, but it gave me more experience, but I'm more confused as to what I want to do in life. So, but going back to the zoo, one thing I do appreciate about the experience was working with kids. They're so much more creative, open, accepting, and it was just a good environment for me to maybe open up. Make some mistakes, not have to be perfect since they're kids and they don't judge you. And I think that helped me just in general. And I can see myself possibly doing education when I'm older. But now going back to CPRS, I just thought of that. But, so Leslie made me do a lot of tasks. Ones that, some of them were mundane, like session proposal corrections, but I actually liked them on the computer, correcting them. But, she set me up with Kaisa Miller, and she's a supervisor at the River City Community Center. And she took me to a meeting with her. We had lunch, and Kaisa described to me her job and took me around and toured the facility. And that also confused me more. But I realized, and Kaisa, she it's a casual job because it's like in a gym center, and so she's always running around. It's not behind the desk, and I really loved the atmosphere. Everyone was really outgoing and upbeat, and I think, and that's when I decided I want to do kinesiology when I'm older and possibly be a personal trainer. So that helped me out a little bit. Not so confused after that. But, and I really appreciate Leslie introducing me to Kaisa because, and also a lot of other people, because seeing people with passion doing their job made me hopeful for myself and for my future and for what I could possibly do with my career. Not so scared anymore. And hopefully I can find my own passion and work with people that also have a common goal. And this is a picture of Leslie and me. That was also at the River City Community Center. One of the other supervisors, I forget his name, but he was doing like a publicity thing, and that's a little souvenir he gave me. I thought it was cute. And then also another task I did was the Ahmed Hassan keynote speaker write-up, and it was I wrote this up, and I'm kind of proud of it. But he is going to be speaking at the Project Management Maintenance School, and that's I remember Leslie saying, through these tasks you're going to understand what CPRS is all about. And so the Management School it has a whole bunch of sessions, and Parks and Rec workers can sign up to be a member, and they go to CPRS to enhance their skills. And so the mission of CPRS is to basically help the workers of Parks and Recreation better their own environment for their community. And that really hit home with me. The reason I wanted to do Parks and Rec as an internship is because I did use the Parks and Recreation, and I really never had a bad experience, and it is because of CPRS and other societies like them that really promote that environment because they help the workers there. And so Leslie and I started talking about what I wanted to do for my senior project, and I was really unsure. I thought I wanted to do something with the zoo, something with the Parks and Rec, but then she said, I know this lady, Gail Kelly, who works at Safetyville, and so she set me up with her, and everything from there just kind of started rolling. And the first thing, I contacted Gail, and I told her about my idea for a senior project, and she said, okay, like a week after I contacted her, I have an Alive at 25 class, you can start there. And I went, and it was basically just a course on safe driving, and then also like defensive driving. And at the end, Tommy Doyle, he was facilitating it. He told his story, and that really hit home. That's when I knew I really needed to do this project, my safe driving campaign. He was responsible for the death of his friend because he was driving under the influence, and he felt it was his responsibility to get the word out for people to drive safely. And my personal reason for doing the project is one of my family members was in the car while someone was under the influence of marijuana, and they crashed, and he survived, but she didn't. And so hearing that story kind of related to me, and I thought it's the perfect thing for me to do. So my safe driving campaign, I contacted Gail. She gave me a lot of ideas. She was really resourceful. She gave me the website. She told me they have this like 2-month-long campaign that they do for schools, but I can only do it for a week because of the Civitas projects. And so she gave me ideas. And the first day, I did a pledge, and it says "Not My Friend," and they signed on the sidewalk with chalk. And the "Not My Friends" pledge is really just meaning none of my friends will be killed in a car accident when I'm behind the wheel or in the car. So no distracted driving while I'm driving. I'll speak up if it's like someone else is blocking the driver is being irresponsible. And the second day was the paper chain, the second day was actually the sign. I had all those different driving signs, and the kids, if they guessed right, they got a piece of candy. And then the third day was the paper chain. Unfortunately, it was raining, and I had it outside. And so not a lot of people came, but I did get about like 50 paper chain rings. And then the fourth day was a Wheel of Fortune, and they spun the wheel, and at whatever number it landed on, I asked them the number of the question, and they also got candy. And so the kind of finale of my safe driving campaign was the speaker seminar, and I had Tommy Doyle come in, the guy that I saw live at 25 seminar, and since he had already spoken at the every 15 minutes presentation we had at Rio, and so I told him, can you please speak about defensive driving, drugs, and the effects they have on driving and safe driving. And so he came in. I thought he was going to have this elaborate note sheet and everything, but no, he's like, I don't really know what I'm going to talk about, but I'll just get up there and go. And he did. He really did. It was really amazing. And he really engaged the kids. There was laughs, but they were also taking it seriously. He was young enough to relate to them, but old enough to have authority over them. I think that was perfect. It went better than I thought it would. I'm really happy about that. And so, just I think all the experiences that I've had throughout Civitas has built a foundation for me to go on with my life. And I think I haven't had a better experience than other high schoolers, but more in-depth. And I think I sound cliche, but found myself a little better. I think without Civitas, I would be a different person. I feel that I'm more well-rounded, more aware. I could say so many things about Civitas, but there's just too much. But Civitas also, going back to Catholic school, I wasn't allowed to really state my opinions, and my opinions and beliefs were that of the church and my mom. They paralleled exactly that. And coming into Civitas, I just remembered, wow, this is really hard, just thinking about different beliefs and opinions and forming my own. But, and it sounds cliche, but Civitas gave me my voice. I didn't think that really my opinion mattered or that I had a place to talk, but I found that my opinion can be valued, and it's kind of a catalyst in the formation of my own opinions and beliefs. And even though, I'm not totally set in my beliefs, that's okay, but I think throughout Civitas, what I appreciate the most is it exercised my brain. Throughout Civitas, I was always thinking, discovering, and changing my mind, but I think that's healthy. And I am privileged to be a part of Civitas because I have had experiences that go beyond the regular high school experience. And I created strong relationships, but even though a lot of us were all really opinionated and really strong and we can butt heads, I think that I can always turn to my Civitas friends in ministry because I know even though we don't always agree, they'll always support me. So, thank you. I just want to bring this in. The day I left the office in CPRS, they threw me a surprise party, and then they left a little note. It was a really fun office. There was 8, maybe, and their personalities were just very big, and it was fun. But if you read the comments, you can tell they're funny people. So, questions?
Anybody have any questions for Collette?
So now this program that you did for your senior project, it was focused on defensive driving. So I guess, how did that parallel or interact with the every 15 minutes, or did it really? Or?
Actually, it did, because it wasn't just offensive, it was also distracted driving, after texting, and also driving under the influence. And every 15 minutes was for mainly driving under the influence. But the thing is, I didn't know every 15 minutes was happening because they had to keep it a secret. So it actually it ended up working out because it was a whole 2 weeks on safe driving. So hopefully the kids got a good
Poor Collette was kept saying to me, when should I do this, when should I do this? And I kept saying, wait, and I will tell you. I had to wait for the PTA to actually tell me when they were doing it every 15 minutes so that we could find out when they were doing it and then dovetail with them. So they did it the week before Thanksgiving and we went on break and then Collette did the following week when we got back for all the lunch hours and speakers. But it was upsetting for her because she was trying to get things going and I kept saying, wait. Any further questions for Collette?
So what's next for you? And next for your season?
Well, based on college, I'm going to college, I'm really not quite sure, but the majors I'm interested in are wine and viticulture and also kinesiology, and possibly education. I probably elementary school, I'd like to do that, but